say that the devil is in the detail. And I don't think that's too far from the truth. Now, when Brian was arrested, one of the first things he said was, had anyone else been arrested? We know that. There's speculation on whether that was a nod to the likes of BTK. And look, it could be. But could it have been that Brian was already at that stage thinking about his overall journey through this situation? He mentioned the fact that he was anxious to get back to Idaho and that he would eventually be exonerated. Well, that was a funny choice of words for a start, wasn't it? Because exoneration means that you get found guilty and then that is overturned. There was no mention of the fact that he was innocent and he wanted to be found innocent. No. This was about exoneration. That was about perhaps acceptance that there would be a flurry of stuff that would come in, things that would point to none other than Brian Kohberger, and he accepted that. But there would be a twist in the tale, and that would be where his exoneration would come from. Who knows? But at the end of the day, they have to prove that he did this. They don't have to prove he was there. They have to prove that he did it. The actual act itself was done by Brian. And let's not forget, we have no witnesses. Now, the defense is likely to use this as part of their arsenal. He's got no witnesses saying that he did it. No one saw him with these people. The only witness in there, the star witness, was she of sound mind? Why did she take 8 hours to call 911? And why did she call friends prior to calling 911? And why, if this was a medical condition that she suffered from so acutely, then how come she was okay a few hours later to go and get tattoos in remembrance of the victims? And they will have to bring forward medical people, medical professionals who will be able to speak in depth about this witness and whether the actions and inactions of that witness meant that what they saw, what they said afterwards, and how they reacted makes them someone that can be trusted 100% sure. They will have to look through the timing, the fact that he was seen, or the car was seen driving around. Not Brian, it would seem, unless there's something that we don't know, but the car was seen. The behaviour of that car, to me, and this is just me as I could be part of the jury, would be that someone was driving that car as if waiting for someone to come out, anxiously driving, ready to let them get in and drive away at pace. But they have to prove beyond no shadow of a doubt that he did the crime itself that he is being trialled for. Now, we know that he was arrested for not only the act of murder, but of burglary. Now, was there a reason that they chose burglary as well? Was it because it was more feasible to say that it was an attempted burglary and they could potentially get him on that because they can prove that he was inside the property and he had no reason to be there? But the actual act of murder itself is where the difficulty comes. Let me know down below what you think. The plausibility of there being a second person. Could Brian have really done this completely on his own, with no help whatsoever from any outside force, whether that be physically on the night itself or in the preparation thereof? Did he do this all alone? And did he do it in the few minutes that it took to drive his car around, to park up, to get out of his car, to enter the home through a door that was already unlocked, luckily for him, to get in and to go to each of the rooms? Did he go to rooms that were unoccupied first and realise that there was no one in them? How did he get in there? Did he kick the doors down? Did he force the doors? Did he knock on them and wait for someone to come to the door? We still see media saying how these victims were attacked in their sleep, but then we hear in the affidavit that it's more likely that nobody was asleep. They'd just ordered food. How would that have impacted his ability to do what he did, supposedly, in the time frame that he had, supposedly? Was someone already in the house? Were some of these victims already deceased? And was there someone else in the car driving around waiting for this to be completed? It's not for us to conclude that, but it is definitely for the prosecution to conclude. I've said time and time again, the burden of proof lays with them, and they have to prove beyond no shadow of a doubt that Bryan Kohberger did this crime on his own, and in that time he got out of there without bringing any evidence outside into that car. We don't know whether there was any evidence inside his car. There could have been. He would have been covered in evidence, surely. So maybe that's the ace in the hole. Again, we'll perhaps never know until the outcome. I just struggle very much to understand how he did this on his own in the time frame. And if I need more explanation of how that was done, the jury's got to be thinking exactly the same if this is all of the evidence that's put before them. It's all about that journey. And if you missed it, my video early today speaks a lot about that journey, the emotional response to what you're told. I'll catch you all in tomorrow's live.